When our government, the current government, came into office, they lifted the ban on GMO in a cabinet sitting. I remember it was the 13th of October 2022. So immediately the government was sworn in August, so September, October, yani a month, they lifted the ban on GMO. There was no public participation on that. There was no input of any committee. There was no parliament. There was nothing, The ban was just lifted. And many people didn't give a thought to it because it was not brought into the public. And of course, Kenyans, we made noise in churches, in barrios, in social places. You know what? Ni sawa too. Because sometimes Kenyans feel helpless. But the truth is we are not helpless. So the ban was lifted. And I remember the cabinet secretary, I don't know, the CS, Moses Kuria, I don't know, was he in agriculture? I can't remember his trade. And he said in a public meeting, there are very many ways to kill Kenyans, and this is just one of them. And what walipiga kelele, this guy doesn't know how to talk. But for me, I didn't see a guy who doesn't know how to talk. I just saw a wise guy who is actually trying to give information indirectly. Maybe because I think their hands were tied. Their hands were tied. This is a foreign-driven agenda, and this government is just implementing a foreign-driven agenda. So fast forward 2023, 2024, 2023, a lot of agriculture bills have come to Parliament. You talked about the Livestock Professionals Bill. It's crazy. It's crazy what this bill seeks to do. This bill seeks to register any farmer who has an animal, a domestic animal, call it a goat, a cow, a donkey, you must register. So it's establishing a board, sort of, where farmers need to register their animals, which will scare you. And they are even, after registration, if you have a bull, or let's say a male dog, a male donkey that is going to serve, you need to register that, as a seed. It's crazy what these bills seek to do. And there are penalties in these, assuming you're caught by the government officials having animals and you didn't register them, there are penalties. There are jail terms. The highest of those jail terms, which crosses on all these bills, was 2 years in jail. Yes. If you're caught, say, keeping a cow that you didn't register. There is also fines. The highest of them I've seen in those bills is $500,000. So you see there's a registration board established. And there is a mandatory registration. And there's a penalty if you don't register. So look at that scenario. And that traverses on all the bills. They talk about registering, like bull seed, the sources of seed, like a bull. So unaandikisha ng'ombe yako, the gene, and it's going to serve. It's crazy these things that they're doing. We don't even have structures to do those things. And when we talk about the Livestock Professionals Bill, that even talks about branding. They're talking about an animal branding. I'm a dairy farmer myself. I keep cows for milk, own home consumption, and for sale. So when we brand our cows, we just give them names. You can call your cow Michelle. If you're fancy, you're like, you want to make them look good, you brand them on the ears with a tag. You can put the name on the tag. That's what we've known as branding for our animals, because you want to identify your animals. If you go to the Maasai land, they put, those bells on the neck. That's a form of branding of animals. We have our own way of identifying our animals. But the government now, through these bills, is seeking an invasive branding. Like chipping. They want you to chip your animal. You get? And you're not the source of the chip. so such that the cow is conveying data, biological data to some other sources, to some other entities, like some people are downloading that information. So that is the kind of branding these bills are talking about. It's really crazy what these people want to do. It's insane. It's you don't even understand it. And they're taking all the powers. For example, now in the livestock professional bills, the power is taken and they're giving that power to the CS. So the power that was with, say, CARI or CARO, or, those agriculture agencies. So that power is being given to the cabinet secretary, an individual. So an individual is supposed to be making decisions regarding, say, dairy animals in Kenya. You see? And it's a very risky way of how they are trying to do these things. In those bills, by the way, those bills were so bad, Brian. I sit here and ask myself, do the members of parliament read them? Because on that livestock professionals bill, there was a clause whereby a farmer, as a dairy farmer, in dairy production, in farming, production is actually the most expensive, feeding your animal. So sometimes you bring maize germ from Uganda, you buy soya beans from the market, you buy omena, from Nyamakema. You come home and you mix a feed for your cows. You want good milk production. So we do those things just to increase milk production. If it's not that, we do hay. We take hay, we siaga, the way you grind. You also add napier grass. Sometimes you add maize stalk. Now, the livestock professionals bill is seeking a farmer to get permission to first of all register your feeds. Like, I'll be mixing these portions and portions with the agricultural authority. Are you getting those things? So you can see the kind of clauses. Of course, they're huge documents. Some of them look fancy, look nice, but it's in the details. It's in the details. I've just picked the contentious clauses in, say, this particular bill.